sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. First carry for Devontae Booker. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. And you get a peek at Devontae Booker's game last week. 19 carries, 53 yards.
I'm so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they're doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Keenum. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. He's got a man, complete. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 32-yard line. This is Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
On the return is Henderson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on. When you
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. A great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And his throw is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He's going deep for Brown, and that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown, 43 yards. Here's Bell. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. On second down, Green. Green flexing his muscle. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. That's good for 22 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Oh, the return is Henderson. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that.
And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Bud Dupree in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on second down. Now they got to come up with something big here on third.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
He'll return it from the 6. Skirts by him at the 35. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Running left is Bell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll run it with Bell. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Now Roethlisberger to throw. This is Bell on the dump off. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down now, Green. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Marquette King now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
This one good for a first down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay?
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to go for a big play downfield, and that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown, 43 yards. Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Now Bell, and just a couple yards there down to the 17. On 3rd down, here's Bell. Bell a first down and then some. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Javon Hargrave with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
He will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. A great return there of 22 yards. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, 65 yards. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the route is on here in this first half. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Throwing is Keenum over the middle, and it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Keenum. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to lead the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. And route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
That one goes for 24 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. To the air again, Keenum. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
3rd and long. It's Keenum. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. On third down, Roethlisberger. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Devontae Booker getting ready to head back out there now with his offensive unit. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing is Keenum on third down. They set up the screen to Booker. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of...
That's caught at the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Boswell good with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Devontae Booker getting ready to head back out there now with his offensive unit. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Bud Dupree in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The Broncos on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And some space here. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On first down, it's Keenum. The catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw on second down is Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The Broncos on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Keenum to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And they'll go on the ground. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Finding room at the 30, and all the way up to the 31-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. They go play action here on first down. He's going deep for Brown. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Roethlisberger will throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
The man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A second down carry for Booker. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Off play action. Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 60 yards. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. On the return is Henderson. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Running again, and again it's Booker. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know the benefits from all those empty seats? You and me trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll pitch it out to Bell. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
On first down, Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Now, that was a big run. It takes them all the way down to the 1-yard line, and that'll shake the confidence of any defense. So when they're looking for a little bit of support now, looking at their defensive coordinator, if I'm him, I dial up some pressure. I just go after him because otherwise you're still playing back on your heels, and that's not going to help your defense at all.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. The All-Pro Von Miller there defensively.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. How about Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, I had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A gain of 3, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. This is Booker on the dump off. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger going top shelf for Smith. And got his man complete. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 76 yards. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
On the return is Henderson. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Right back to Booker. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up.
There goes the high. Like 20. Like 29 high. Silver.
Keenum going to try and throw on third down. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's fourth. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. On second down, it's Bell. And he's got some space here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Green. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a third down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on ball.
Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Roethlisberger to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists. exist for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Here's Marquette King now, standing just about on his own goal line. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Now Brown. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. Now a play fake here on first down. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, 34 yards. And this Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, Keenum. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown, and he is just 1 reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so that maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're in pretty good sync.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Eight.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
All right, let's go.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46.
Jack 16. Back.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. They give him a gain of 37. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. Left side here to Sanders. Keenum to Sanders for the Denver 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Keenum now on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Keenum, he throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Keenum now to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Keenum. Escaping, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bud Dupree in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Keenum. And that is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And they'll run it here. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brandon Marshall in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. The Steelers will go. It's Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
I'm going to forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyson Alualu in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 1st down, it's Keenum. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Here's Keenum. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
One last throw for Keenum. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all